It started with a dream. A vision of a beautiful custom diamond painting that I, with my own two hands, would bring to life. And then I opened the package. The first red flag? The canvas was rolled tighter than my sanity after a week of bad life choices. I unrolled it with the grace of a person opening a burrito too fast. It curled right back up and smacked me in the face. But I was determined. I pinned the corners down with the nearest heavy objects: a coffee mug, my phone, a book, and a deep sigh of regret. That's when I got a proper look at the rendering. It was not good. The image was supposed to be detailed and clear. Instead, it looked like someone had printed a photo on a potato and then stepped on it. Still, I held on to hope. Then I met the drills. The moment I poured them into the tray, chaos ensued. They clung to the plastic. They clung to my fingers. They clung to the tray, my sweater, my soul. At one point, I watched in horror as a single drill hovered midair like it was questioning its existence. I am 99% sure I discovered anti-gravity technology. This is fine, I lied to myself, shaking the tray to spread them out. The glue had other plans. I gently pressed the first drill into place. It stuck. Perfect. Then, realizing I had put it in the wrong spot, I tried to lift it back up. Big mistake. The drill refused to budge. It had bonded to the canvas like a bad tattoo decision. I pulled harder. The canvas came up with it. I inhaled deeply, set the drill back down, and whispered, "You win this round." I moved on. Day 2. The static wars begin. The battle intensifies. New day. New attitude. New plan. I woke up determined. Yesterday, I had fought the glue and lost. But today, I was ready. I had my weaponry prepared. A dryer sheet to battle the static. A magnifying glass because I could no longer trust my own eyesight. A spare tray to replace the first one, now permanently stuck to my elbow. A strong cup of coffee for courage. I sat down, stretched my fingers, and cracked my knuckles like a warrior preparing for battle. Then I opened the next color, and all hell broke loose. The static uprising. The static had evolved. If yesterday was bad, today was anarchy. The moment I poured the drills into the tray, they jumped back out. Yes, jumped. Like tiny, rebellious fleas escaping captivity. I tried to calm them down by gently shaking the tray. They clung together like they were forming a cult. I rubbed the dryer sheet over them. Nothing. I rubbed it harder, whispering threats. Still nothing. I considered calling an exorcist. Eventually, I tricked them into settling by tapping the tray very carefully while also whispering, "Stay, stay. Good drills." For a moment, it seemed like I had won. Then I tried picking one up with the pen, and the pen sucked up an entire handful. I stared at the clump of drills stuck to the tip. It looked like a weird, lumpy diamond painting lollipop. "Cool, cool, cool," I muttered, gently trying to shake them off. They refused. I tapped harder, still clinging. Finally, I just slammed the whole thing against the canvas. They landed in a random pile. Some stuck. Some bounced away to start their new lives elsewhere. I sighed deeply, picked up my tweezers, and prepared to manually place each drill like a peasant. Symbol chaos. My eyes betray me. Just when I thought things couldn't get worse, I looked at the symbols on the canvas and realized I could not read them at all. Some symbols looked like letters. Others looked like ancient hieroglyphics. A few seemed to be just tiny smudges. One drill was supposed to go on a Z symbol, except there were two ZS. One was slightly tilted. One was a mirror image. Which one was correct? No clue. Okay, I reassured myself. This is fine. I'll just look at the legend. Big mistake. The legend, my so-called guiding light, had abandoned me. One column had 3 different symbols that all looked like a sideways letter S. One of them might have been an 8. Or a snake. Who knew? I put my face so close to the canvas I was basically breathing on it. Maybe if I tilt my head. I tilted. The symbols still looked the same. I tried squinting. No, they just looked like abstract art. I tried holding my phone up for a zoomed-in photo. Now they look like even blurrier abstract art. At this point, my entire life flashed before my eyes. I wondered if this was how I would go. Would people tell the story of the diamond painter who lost her mind trying to read her own canvas? Finally, I made a decision. I guessed. The great placement disaster. For the next 2 hours, I carefully placed drills based on my best guesses. Then I sat back to admire my work and felt a deep, bone-chilling realization settle in. I had done it wrong. Every single drill. Wrong color. Wrong placement. Wrong everything. The section I had just completed was now an abomination. It was supposed to be part of a sunset. Instead, it looked like a haunted storm cloud. I blinked. My eye twitched. I had 2 choices. Fix it, which meant battling the glue again. Pretend it was an artistic choice. I sighed and leaned in, tweezers at the ready. The great removal mission had begun. I carefully lifted the first drill. It would not come off. I pulled harder. The glue held on tighter. This glue had trust issues. After several minutes of gentle negotiation, I yanked a little too hard. The drill popped off and took a piece of the canvas with it. I froze, stared at the tiny, ripped crater now staring back at me. My breath hitched. I whispered, no. I reached for my emergency clear glue and gently patted it back into place. The drill was now slightly crooked, but I didn't care. You're staying there forever, I muttered, pressing it with the force of my disappointment. A summary of my day. By the time I reached the end of day 2, my hands were covered in glue residue. My patience was gone, and my drills were scattered across the floor like lost dreams. Lessons learned today. The static is winning. I have accepted this. I now live in its world. The symbols are against me. My magnifying glass is now my best friend. The glue is forever. Mistakes? Permanent. Adjustments? Impossible. This painting will not look like the original image, and I have made peace with that. I refuse to quit. I don't know why, but here we are. I sighed, packed up my supplies, and mentally prepared for day 3. Would it get better? Would I finally conquer the static? Would I develop X-ray vision just to read the symbols? Probably not. But I had already come this far. And so, the saga continues. Day 3, the tweezers betray me. I woke up with renewed determination. Yesterday, I had battled static drills, glue that never forgives, and symbols that might have been ancient alien messages. But today I had a plan. Step 1, approach the painting with confidence. Step 2, accept the chaos. Step 3, maybe finish at least one small section without crying. Sounds simple, right? Wrong. Drills, tweezers, and the betrayal of gravity. I grabbed my tweezers, feeling powerful. Today, I would place my drills with surgical precision. But the moment I tried picking up my first drill, it vanished. Gone. Disappeared into the void. I checked my desk. Nothing. I checked my lap. Still nothing. I checked the floor. Nothing but regrets. This drill was gone forever. Probably on its way to another dimension. Okay, I said, taking a deep breath. It's just one. Not a big deal. I picked up another. Boing. It jumped out of the tweezers. I tried again. Another one bounced away. I stared at my tweezers. They stared back, silently mocking me. My hands were shaking with the effort of carefully picking up drills. And then I made a terrible mistake. I tried gripping the drill harder. The tweezers slipped and flung a handful of drills into the air, like confetti. I watched in horror as they rained down onto the painting. Some landed perfectly aligned. Some landed in the wrong places. Most landed directly onto the exposed glue. I froze. I stared at the disaster. And for a moment, I seriously considered setting the whole thing on fire. But no, I was stronger than this. I reached for my tweezers again and knocked over my entire drill tray. It was at this moment I questioned every life choice that led me here. My fingers become the tool. After 15 minutes of rage cleaning, I came to a new realization. The tweezers? They were not my friend. The pen? Also betraying me. It was time to go primal. I started picking up drills with my fingers. No tools. Just me, the glue, and sheer stubbornness. For a while it worked. Until I pressed too hard, and my fingerprint got stuck to the glue. I yanked my hand back and took a few drills with it. I gasped in horror. The section I had just completed was now a mess. I reattached the drills. They were now crooked. I reattached them again. Somehow worse. This was my life now. I sighed deeply, stared at the painting, and whispered, "You win today." Tomorrow I would return. Tomorrow, the battle would continue. Day 4. I accept my fate. Status update. I am 1/3 done with this painting. I have not lost a single drill. They have all lost me instead. My patience is at an all-time low. My sanity is hanging by a thread. I sat down at my desk, looked at my painting, and made peace with my fate. The glue will never show mercy. The static will never rest. The symbols will always be unreadable. And yet, I kept going. I placed each drill with the dead-eyed expression of someone who had seen too much. I no longer fought the static. If the drills wanted to cling together, fine. Let them be best friends. I no longer fought the glue. If a drill landed in the wrong spot, guess what, buddy? That's your home now. I no longer fought the symbols. If I couldn't read them, I just guessed and moved on. Somewhere around hour 3, I entered a diamond painting trance. Everything blurred together. I placed drills without thinking. Did they go in the right spot? No idea. Did I care anymore? Also no idea. By the time I looked up, the entire evening had passed. I blinked. My hands ached. My vision was slightly blurry. And then, I saw it. A section of the painting that actually looked okay. I gasped. It was working. It was a disaster, sure. But it was MY disaster. And I was determined to finish it. As I packed up my supplies for the night, I realized something important. This painting had broken my spirit. And yet, I still wasn't giving up. Would the next few days be any easier? Doubtful. But I had come too far to quit now. The saga continues. Final thoughts after 4 days. Diamond painting status, 1/3 complete. Mental stability gone. Patience level, -500. Emotional state, a mix of rage and reluctant love. Will I keep going? Unfortunately, yes. To be continued, because I have officially lost control of my life.